just wanna be your disco bitch, your disco bitch. Touch my body.
Let my body.
Check.
Let my body rock.
Makeup.
Let my body rock.
I mean, all right. You know what I'm saying? So take a look. Hold on.
He's sweating when you're on top. Let's report.
You small, I hate small people ever since I got chased from Murphy's Bar. You crumb.
Shake it slow. Got the high heel shoes with the
Michael Pinheiro Incorporated. That's right.
Really?
open toes. Taking over the stage. Can you?
Unless you're sitting next to me, you'll always be winning. Duh, winning. This game, every game this week was a nail biter. Except for this game where Gary demolished the little coach. 178 to 120. Go right into it, Mike. What did the little coach do?
Well, little coach had Matthew Stafford with 38, Arian Foster with 15, Felix Jones, who got injured in that game, coming out with 4 points, Steve Johnson with 14, Pierre Garçon with 11, Jermichael Finley with 3, James Jones 10, the Giants defense 9 points, and Robbie Gould 16.
I mean, you look at it, he lost like Felix Jones. I mean, yes, regardless, 4 points. He hasn't really been doing much for the year. Jermichael Finley has been on a decline for how long now? I mean, every game he's been having bad games left and right. Don't understand it. And, I mean, the young man finds himself tied for first place. I mean, you can't take it away from me. He won a 3-game winning streak. But when I look at the team, when I look at the talent, I just don't see how he's staying on top. And like I said, we're here to speak the truth. And the reason he's on top, he's in a weak division. The best of the best is a weak division. And we'll go into that. I mean, it's just the way it is. Let's go over to the Brazilian All-Stars. Getting back on track with a big win. With Flacco, 26 points. Fred Jackson, 27. Frank Gore, 22 points. Frank Gore finally getting on track. Calvin Johnson, 18. A.J. Green. A.J. Green, let me tell you something, Brazilian All-Stars, if you're watching this. You are a punk. That's what you are. You take A.J., you take my player. You know what I've been noticing? Is these guys, they take my junk and they turn it into their treasure. I mean, really. I discovered the kid, didn't produce. I figured I'd drop him for a week, pick him back up. Nope, Gary took him. But we've been having a lot of that, and we're going to discuss that later with all the pickups. But moving on, Brent Pedigree, big game, 18 points. Darren McFadden still doing his thing. The kid, he's on track. He's going to be an elite fantasy player with 16 points. The Jets defense, they got 26 points. I mean, they were on a bye. I don't even understand how they got 26 points. Right? When they play Miami, it's mostly like a bye. And Nick Falk with a measly 6 points. Enough to demolish him. I mean, it's upside down. I don't know what to make of that division. Like, what do you think? Do you think Gary is going to continue? Is he finally going to surpass? Is Sean going to fall back into the bottom? Or is he going to still... Is him and Gary going to play neck to neck for first place?
I see the little coach sliding as the season goes on. I don't think he has good enough players on his team to consistently play every week. And I think Gary's team, everybody's starting to play at a high level. They're starting to find their groove. So I see the little coach sliding into the bottom of the division, and I see Gary staying up top.
Well, you heard it here. Now going on, we got the short circuit battling the Four Crowns World Champion. Another, if not the game of the week, along with the coach and the Death Lords, and then you know, the Notre Dame disciples and the bus. Right down to the last minute of the game, tied 124 to 124, and we're gonna get into that. But Drew Brees doing his thing, 32 points, same old. Ray Rice having another big. The guy's doing it. He's doing it. Regardless, 21 points. 21 points to McCoy. Greg Jennings with 14. Wes Welker, decent game for Wes Welker, still putting up the double digits, 16. And then he goes to the fallout. 5 points to Burris, 12 points to the Patriots, 2 to I said Plaxico, Gonzalez with 5, and Longwell with 3. What do we have over there with the world champs?
The world champions. Cam Newton putting up 26 points. Ahmad Bradshaw putting up bullshit 32 points. Darren Sproles with 13. Mike Williams finally starting to get his rhythm going, coming in with 11. Lance Moore with 6. Aaron Hernandez, who should not be on your team, 18 points. Peyton Hillis with 1. Texans defense with 6. And Steven Gostowski with 8.
Going into this game, first of all, when there's a bad owner in the league and he drops a good player, don't expect a great owner with 4 championships to not go after him because he's quality in that player.
Listen,
That's the way it goes.
I will say it. We'll go back to like week 3.
We're gonna get into all
We'll
that.
go back to week
Let's
3
finish
when
the
he
matchup.
complained about his cousin picking up a player that he mentioned.
AJ Green, we just talked about that.
People get hurt, and you can't put them on IR because they are questionable forever.
It's the way of the game. I mean,
And
you
you
gotta
gotta,
put them
you gotta
aside.
make a sacrifice. You gotta drop a player, pick somebody else.
I mean, what sucks is there's no friends in fantasy.
there isn't.
You know,
You know,
they're gonna. We're
like
here to win.
like Scum who pick up Brandon Lloyd. Just saying.
And Scum, who pick up,
As you can tell,
Deion
we're highly
and,
contested today.
We got less like who says, oh, just this past week, oh, the Disciples, what scumbags picking up Deion Branch when I was gonna pick him up. Wait a minute, you've done it yourself. How is he a scumbag? That means he's a good manager, he's a good owner. He went out there, he found the talent. I mean, hey, what I'm trying to say is, we're friends, but when it comes to fantasy,
We're enemies.
you're enemies. There's no friendships here. Just cause, oh, I'm gonna drop this guy for a week. Hey, buddy, I need him for this week.
Listen,
I'm gonna take
I
him.
will say
It's
it
the way
like
it goes.
this. We're friends up until September. Because good friends, when football season comes, become better enemies.
But Midget, Nuno, you used to be my little sidekick, my little kickstand. But let me tell you something, you little munchkin who drives his car in a booster seat. Let me tell you something. You small, I hate small people ever since I got chased from Murphy's Bar. You crumb. I told this guy Sunday, if I can just maintain a 3-point lead, I will beat him with my entire roster missing. Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates, Dwayne Bowe. I could go on and on. I had no business being in that game. And I had the lead, tied it, and with Burrows. Not even to catch one catch in an entire game. I had the tie going into the end. And you know something? Blow me out. Beat me in the first quarter. But when you go to the last drive of the game and you catch a measly 16-yard catch and end up beating me by 2, that really ticks me off. Let me tell you something, Nuno, though. You know what? You're in first place. But obviously, the W speak for himself. But let me tell you straight up. With my bench players and players that would not be a starter in any league, to actually compete and bring you down to the last second of the game where I almost won, I think it says a lot more for my team than it says for his team. I mean, right? Look at it. I played his 4-1 squad with bench players, and I nearly beat him. He beat me by 2 points. So, you put me at 1-4-1.
Any given Sunday.
1-4-1. And yet when my best players are in there, they get smacked around. It makes no sense. But like I said, we're gonna get into that. But like this guy, I want to talk about last place. Let me tell you, you don't make me feel, any bad about myself. Here you are.
This isn't about you. We're
No.
about the whole league.
You attacked on here. We were talking about. Tell me, cameraman, am I correct? Didn't he go into and last place, the 4-time world champ, right?
A little sarcastically.
A little sarcastically. But listen, you played the same game last year. Oh, no handful of wins, no handful of wins.
I gotta get you motivated.
Wait a minute, but what happened? The point is, what really ticks me off in this league, even with polls, is for some reason they're scared to see me. They don't want to see me in December or January. They don't want to play me. They don't want me to make the playoffs. But you know what? If I was on, if the shoe was on the other foot, I want to beat the 4-time world champion. I want him in the playoffs. For me to be a real champion, I want to take out the champ. But going back from day one, I just don't understand what it is. Like how, it is true. The Patriots won Super Bowls and people just started hating them. Me, I would put up a poll after my first championship. Do you think Kev has a chance to repeat as champion? The 7 league members vote no. I win my second championship. I put up the third poll for the 3rd year. Do you think Kev has a chance? No, he has no chance. I win a 3rd championship. And then I did it for the 4th, and I did it. Never 1 year. And I've done it 4 years in a row, and they still try to fight me off and not give me my respect. I've done what no other team has done. And you know something? I don't care I'm in last. I don't have nothing to prove. I won 4 championships, and I still have a chance to go for my 5th, while you guys are working on your 1st. So, like I said last year, kick me while I'm down. You want to do the sarcastic jokes, last place, that's fine. I'd rather be in last place at 1-4, where I belong, instead of in your division, 1-4 in 1st place. Because in my division are where the big boys play. But let's go on.
Who's in 1st place at 1-4?
Your first, 3 weeks ago, your 1st place guy had 2 wins. What are you talking about?
3 weeks ago was 3 weeks into the season.
Bro.
Again, this is...
The first, we talked about this too. What do you have, amnesia? It was 3-0 in my division for 1st place. Your division was 1-2, 0-3. They were still in 1st place. What are you talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about.
Doesn't matter.
It's ridiculous. It's a weak division. No, yeah, it's how you finish. How I finished every freaking year. And like I said, I hope...
A bitter person.
No. You're bitter because you've never made an impact. You've never done it in a league. You make the playoffs and you bust. You've always busted. So don't tell me I'm bitter. You're bitter. Guess what? I'll be there in December and January. Make sure you're there because I'm always representing my side and I would love to see you in the end. But going on. What do we have coming up this week, DJ Mikey P?
We have, for 1st place in the Young Nationals division, we have the North Dartmouth Disciples, 5-1 against the Short Circuit, 5-1. What do you think about that matchup?
Which is the last week in the division matchups, right?
Yeah.
Very big. This week is the cutoff point, ladies and gentlemen. Week 7, midpoint of the season, right? Next week, we're going to review the first half of the season, what we've seen, what we think. Going forward, the first 7 games next week are going to take place. And, I mean, I'll save it for the show, but like a lot of teams, I'm very surprised about, winning 1 game in the first half of the season. It's horrible. But the North, who are we talking about this week?
The North Dartmouth Disciples versus the Short Circuit.
North Dartmouth Disciples in a Short Circuit. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. The Short Circuit, he has a decent team, but I just don't like the victory he just got over he grinded nail and tooth to beat my bench players. So how can he go and fight the North Dartmouth Disciples star players? I just don't understand that, and it's all in the week. And I see the North Dartmouth Disciples sticking in 1st place. And when my hope, I hope they both tie and wait for me. But I don't think the Short Circuit, I've been voting against them. It's nothing personal. I got to go with the squad there. When you have these guys, Benjavis Green Ellis, you insert him and he has a career day and he beats Kenny. It's stuff like that. No consistency. But yet you get that bull, that one player, Wes Walker, 34 points, everybody else with 3. Steve has been more consistent. The North Dartmouth Disciples, you got to say they're one of the most shocking teams this year. He's up there with the big boys, which it's a hard division, and he's there. He's fighting it. It looks like He might even control first, and which he knows from last year. It's one thing being in first, but it's even harder containing it. And he did it last year for 7 weeks, and then went 1-6 the rest of the way and lost his spot. But if he holds on, regardless, it looks like he's gonna make the push in the playoffs, either with the division title or as a wild card. Regardless, he's gonna be, you know. I see the Young Nationals championship going through Dartmouth, and I gotta go with him. I gotta roll with him. He's the hot team right now, and I see a very close matchup. He's gonna take it and move on to 6-1 and finish with a great first half of the season. And if you look at it, if he wins this week, he goes 6-1. The first 7 games of the season, halfway, he went 7-0 last year. So right now, in 7 weeks, this guy has been like 14-1 in 2 seasons. Nobody's ever done that. That is crazy when you really go on to think about it. But what do you think of the matchup?
Oh, I see the North Dominant Disciples taking it.
Really?
His team has slowly gotten their rhythm going. Everybody's playing to the level they need to play at, and he's been making his weekly pickups. He's been averaging 2 pickups a week. You know, he doesn't let any of his players slide. If they're not performing, he'll drop them and pick somebody else up.
Which is how you win championships. Moving on. So good luck to both of them. Let the best team win. Brazilian All-Stars at the Death Lords. Big game. The Brazilian All-Stars are in first place, tied with the little coach. Now, if he maintains it, with the little coach losing, he stays alone. Big game for the Death Lords. If the Death Lords can knock him off, he will tie up with him and go on to first place. We could have a 3-way tie and at the best of the best division. Big game, and I mean, I don't know what to make out of. I mean, now Frank Gore is getting on the grind. Frank Gore is doing his thing. I mean, he was struggling, but his team is starting to produce. My big drop of AJ Green is turning into his slash #1 receiver, him and Calvin Johnson.
That's a very good point, except for one problem. All those players you just mentioned, they're all on a bye this week.
Well, regardless, he has a good bench. I mean, going into it, who do you lose this week?
I don't lose anybody. I have my full team.
So you have your full team. Well, you know, I have to. I mean, even with the bye, you know, it's going to be close. But when a team is rolling, I mean, you gotta go with it. But who does he lose this week?
He loses Frank Gore. Let's see.
A couple other big players.
Frank Gore, Fred Jackson, AJ Green.
Well, you know what? Going forward with that news, because he's losing a lot of players, I'm gonna have to obviously go with the Death Lords, which is gonna be tough for Gary. So I see the Death Lords moving into first place and Gary losing it.
I'll say it this way, and you can go back and you can check the tape of every shotgun sit down we've had.
Every time we go against him, he wins.
No, every shotgun sit down we've had so far. I have never, every game I've won or lost, I've called that I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. There's never been a time I said I'm going to win and I lost. I'll straight out say I've lost. I was playing Steve, I said I was going to win. I played Keith, I said I was going to win. And I'll say it this week. This week I will win.
Because he doesn't have a roster. Moving on. The coach at Little Coach. Father versus son. Is son going to do the right thing so daddy don't spank him? Or is he going to say, Daddy, I want a championship. I want to be great like you, and I want to win this division. What you see in that game? I see the coach getting back on track. The coach on a 3-game loser.
I see the coach doing what all good fathers should do at some point in their life.
Laying down.
Which is, they take their son, they take him to the woodshed, and they whip his ass. And that's what Keith's going to do to his son this week. It's been long overdue.
When it comes to fantasy,
There ain't no family.
he would play his best team against my mama. So I know he's going to go for the win. So that's a big game to look out for there because, you know, he's been struggling. The coach has been struggling. Last 4 games, he's had 1 tie and 3 losses. Eventually, he has to get on track. He's going to have to pick up a win. And I think this week, he's going to eventually get it. And I take the coach over there. Going on, last game of the week, the 4 Crowns World Champion against the big, bad, dirty, disgusting loser Bus. Just joking. Big game. It's not a secret. The world champs need this. As I said with Keith, the last 4 games, it's been one tie and 3 losses back to back. It's going to be tough, but you know, I see the Bus taking it.
I don't see that. I see for the first time we're going to have 2 ties. I see a tie coming out of that game. I see that game going down to the end and it being a tie at the end of the week.
I mean, I don't see it because I have no tight end. Antonio Gates might play this week. I can't drop a tight end. I got Hernandez, I got Gronkowski, I got Antonio Gates. I can't drop either one. So right there, that slot might be empty. My kicker, it might be empty. So therefore, the consequences of why I lost this past game because of the buys, because of injuries and buys, I see the Bus going forward, which is really going to hurt. I mean, I don't give up. I fight till the end. And I claimed on 2 weeks ago on an episode, I said by week 13 I'll hold first place in the Young Nationals division. But you know what? Another loss and another 2 losses in the second half of the season. I don't know. I think it's done. But regardless of the 1-4 start, I'm still this game right here can actually tie me with the Bus. You know, well, actually put me behind the Bus half a game. So it is a huge game. For every game this week is huge. Every game is implication. It's playoff implication. So I mean, this is where we're getting down and dirty. Mid-season, this is where it starts. It starts separating the 6 teams that move on to the most exciting, the hottest playoff atmosphere in fantasy football, which is the King of Kings League of Champions, where you see it right there, Taça Zavuz, beautiful, beautiful trophy that we have this year that was handmade and crafted by our one of our owners and donated by Stephen Tabikas of the North Diamond Disciples, along with myself. He did a great job, and we have a lot of prizes and awards. So we're really working hard for you guys this year, and I hope you guys appreciate it because all this is hard work. I got 2 children. I got a wife. I take time out of my day to do this show because you guys like it. You know, the man on the side of me puts time aside to also do the show. Our production team, our cameraman, Steve himself. So this is all, it takes time to do all this, you know what I'm saying? So please leave comments, you know, vote, you know, because it's pretty good. I know a lot of people like it. I mean, and you know, this is beautiful. You got the Kevtron 5000. I mean,
Not the Kevtron 5000. They'll get over that eventually.
Let me tell you something. It's the Kevtron. We don't want to. This is our new set. I don't want to smack you like I did in the old set. Listen, you listen to me, okay? But anyways. To the man who, you know, has an album out, currently in stores and at a website near you. You can look it up on iTunes, Rhapsody, eMusic, and a CD Baby, and at a local store near you. Street Tears is the name of the album, produced by Shoptone Productions. So what else we got left for the show? It's been a great night on the show today. New atmosphere. Look at the Kevtron 5394. Look at this thing is unbelievable. It's 5D. I mean, it is, you know, we got Wi-Fi on the show. We got everything here. We got everything. What do you think? Don't touch the microphone. We got Street Tears. Just got released.
You know what? I want to say welcome back. I want to say welcome back to a guy who's been away from football for a little bit. Went through a lot of personal turmoil. You know, he had a boss who just hated him. Welcome back, Carson Palmer.
Yes.
Welcome
Woo!
back.
I give it to him. How's it? Big trade. Big trade.
Big trade.
All right. Well, let me tell you something. It's been one hell of a time. All right. Vote for us on YouTube. Spread the word. We got the best fantasy show in sports. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no, we're here for all fun and games. There's no conspiracies here. You know what I'm saying? There's no conspiracies here. There's no illegal activities. We're here we're giving good advice. We love, this ain't no secret societies over here. This ain't Watergate. You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying earlier that I stole your guy. Listen, I didn't do it on purpose, okay? This ain't 9/11. It wasn't an inside job, all right? So I'm just leaving it like that, all right? Next week, big show. It's going to be the first half of it's going to be a season review, all right? First 7 games of the season by, we're going to give a review. We're going to give scores. We're going to give grades. We're going to tell you the losers from the losers.
And there will be a lot less of Kevin venting, just saying.
And he'll
have his happy pills next week, I promise.
If I'm in last place, we will not even mention that on next week's episode. And this has been a great night. And just so you know, I have been looking for a new co-host. Nobody in particular. 5'7", 38C, and legs all the way to heaven. And you don't fit none of that.
There's only one problem, son. There's only one problem. You keep forgetting one thing.
What is it?
You may have come up with the idea for the show, but the name is trademarked.
So the name and likeness.
The name and likeness
Really?
is trademarked to Michael Pinheiro
Really?
Incorporated. That's right.
Really?
That's right.
Say, you couldn't do nothing. You can take the trade, you can take the likeness. Unless you're sitting next to me, you'll always be winning. Duh, winning. That's what I do. I win. Everything I do is big, okay? So, take the trademark, take whatever.
Obviously.
Like I said, and did I tell you that your mother's coming in for an interview? And anyways, so everybody have a good time out there. You need any more help, go look at our website. We'll give you, we got players of the week, we got things on there. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank the production team. And anything else to say?
Good luck to everybody this week. Got a lot of implications, especially in Young Nationals Division for first place. Good luck.
This is Big Kev with DJ Mikey P. See you next week. Losers.